So hello guys everyone. Today we will be dealing with the chapter of chemical equilibrium, which is having quite a good weightage in JEE Mains 2020, and I will be telling you how to solve the problems in an easier manner so that you can solve all the problems whichever you are facing in a quite less span of time. So let's start. जो हमने ज़्यादातर कंसिडर किया होगा, आपने लेक्चर्स देखे होंगे, आपने टीचर से भी सुने होंगे, बट अगर आप डीप थोरो स्टडी करेंगे तो आप पाएंगे कि इक्विलिब्रियम में क्या होता है। रिएक्टेंट्स होते हैं, गोइंग टू प्रोडक्ट्स, और कोई भी फेज में हो सकते हैं आपके रिएक्टेंट्स और आपके प्रोडक्ट्स। तो कंसिडरिंग दैट कि जो हमारा डायनेमिक इक्विलिब्रियम होता है, इक्विलिब्रियम को लेकर के बहुत सारे मिसकंसेप्शंस हमारे माइंड में रहते हैं कि वहाँ पे जाकर के रिएक्शन स्टॉप हो जाती है, बट ऐसा नहीं है। इस डबल हेडेड एरो का मतलब है कि जो रेट ऑफ रिएक्शन है फॉरवर्ड रिएक्शन का और रेट ऑफ रिएक्शन ऑफ बैकवर्ड रिएक्शन बिकम्स इक्वल। इफ वी कंसिडर RF to be rate of forward reaction and RB to be backward reaction, both the rate becomes equal at point of equilibrium. Means whatever amount of reactants is becoming products, the products will come back and form reactants. So mainly we consider a thing that we have calculate equilibrium constant Kc. So here we mention it is a ratio concept and it is a constant for a particular reaction. Here I would be somewhat briefing also about this. At this particular time, at equilibrium, people think, which is a misconception and a myth, which is not true, that the amount of reactant and amount of product become equal at equilibrium, which is not true. It is, please pay attention on my point, that the amount of product and amount of reactant become constant and not equal at equilibrium. So moving ahead to Kc, it is a ratio of products and reactants. It is a concentration of products and concentration of reactants. So, and mentioning it is very much clear and it is very much important to have a basic conception of this ratio, because many a times there is a heterogeneous medium. So the concentration of the products and reactions are considered which are in gaseous phase. Please don't consider the natural things in the ratio, because natural things which are in a particular ratio, particular natural form, they are having a concentration of 1. So we neglect in it when we put it in our Kc ratio. So we neglect, for example, we are having H2O liquid. So we neglect it. And for example, we are having sodium in solid form. So these are all natural existing forms. So we neglect all these forms when we write a ratio of this kind. So moving ahead, we are also consider with a ratio moving forward, that there is a Kp ratio, which is also a constant and which is related to Kc. But in between, I would also request you all to see what are the relations developed from Kc, which are very tricky and also being asked variously in different JEE Mains attempts. For example, if it is a reaction of like AA plus BB producing C plus small d. For example, this is the reaction, all are in aqueous form. All the reactants are in aqueous form. So when we will write Kc, it would be like but if we change the reaction and reverse the reaction, for example, if we write this products in the reactants, These all are in aqueous form again. So Kc changes like this. For example, this is Kc and this is Kc dash. So this would be 1 upon Kc, because in this case the reactants are converted into products and the products are into reactants. Moving further, if we multiply this reaction by NCC aqueous plus D ND aqueous Na aqueous plus Nb aqueous. Simply there is no change and we just multiply the power to n. Whatever we have multiplied in the reaction, we are raising the Kc to the power of n. So our answer Kc double dash would be 1 upon Kc power n. And I would be erasing this so that I could move forward to Kp. So moving ahead, अब मैं आपको Kp की रिएक्शंस, Kp का सीक्वेंस जो रिलेशंस होते हैं वो बताऊंगा. जैसे हम सभी ने देखा होगा कहीं ना कहीं कि Pv इक्वल्स टू nRT होता है बाय आइडियल गैस इक्वेशन. सो इफ वी यूज P इज इक्वल टू n by V upon RT, so this whole term converts to be concentration and P is equal to CRT. So if we move ahead, we can consider concentration for a reaction in Kc, but if we have to use the pressure reaction, we have to consider it to be the concentration of the gas. So we can write like this: P is equal to concentration of gas. This is the brackets means concentration of gas, concentration of particular thing, into RT. So in the thing which we are writing, Kc is equal to products upon reaction concentration. So in this case, when we are writing Kp, we would be writing the product thing. So Kp is equal to, for example, there is a reaction A plus B going to C plus D. So Kp would be pressure of C into pressure of D upon this is all partial pressures, we are just playing with the partial pressures, PV. So if we expand these terms, it would be like it would be this, we will be using this equation in this thing, and then we will obtain the concentration of gas. We will be writing the names of the gas, considering this to be in gaseous form. So we would write here C, concentration of C into RT, concentration of D into RT upon concentration of A into RT and concentration of B into RT. Depending here, whatever is the stoichiometric coefficients of A, B and C, D, we will be using the powers. For example, if we are writing stoichiometric coefficients A, B, C and D, so we will give the powers like C, D, A and B. Similarly here, C, D, A and B. And now you are seeing that RT is having a common term, so we will take RT common. C, D upon A, B, B along with RT. This is C plus D and minus A plus B. So we will C plus D minus A plus B. So if we would simplify this, we can consider that this is Kp equals to Kc RT delta N, where delta N signifies the change in the number of moles of containing gaseous constituents. For example, if there is a solid constituent or a constituent which is in natural form, so we will not consider it in the Kp, and delta N means the difference between the molecules of reactants and the products. If you consider a reaction, a general reaction, for example, HI breaks down to produce H2 plus I2, and we will be here using a stoichiometric coefficient of 2 to balance the equation. So we would consider a graph. It would be like for concentration versus time. So we will see that if we are having a beaker containing hydrogen, iodine and HI, hydrogen iodide, so we would consider a graph like this is the product and this is the reactant. So starting with HI, it would be like somewhat like this, and starting here, because it would be H2 and H2 it would be present initially also, so it would be starting somewhere like this and it would meet somewhere here. At this point of time when these two meet and they attain a saturation point, we at this point can consider that equilibrium is being reached. At this point equilibrium is attained. So the thing is that we will not consider this point as our equilibrium point, but many misconceptions are there that because here reactants and products concentration is equal, but we have to consider that the concentrations of product and reaction, it should be a constant level where it has attained a constant here. So I would erase the board. So as we have seen that in case of Kc, it is like we use for a particular reaction, because I would remind you all that Kc and Kp are constants, but they are specifically for a given particular reaction. Whenever we don't have a particular reaction, we cannot state about Kc anyhow, because we just now previously we studied that how on just changing the reactants and products the Kc values changes. So it would be determined particularly for a fixed reaction. If we consider it is like AA, the same set of reaction, considering all in aqueous form or gaseous form, whichever required. So if we write Kc, this would be the Kc. But moving ahead, there is a new concept of reaction quotient, because the values we are considering here at this point of time in Kc, the concentration of A, B, C and D are considered to be the equilibrium concentrations of each of the reactants and products. But during the reaction there are many steps, and this type of question is really important considering the fact of JEE Mains and JEE Advanced both. So in any intermediate time before equilibrium is attained, so we consider it as a reaction quotient, which is Qc or Qp, considering the like, for example, if it is for concentration, molarity, or it is in terms of partial pressures. So if we write Qc would be similar to this, but it would be not at point of equilibrium concentration, it would be the concentration. For example, it is T equal to 0, T equal to T, and this is at T equal to T equilibrium. This is, for example, anything like, for example, we have considered whatever. So this is a T equilibrium is considered for Kc, calculating Kc, and T equals to T is considered for evolving reaction quotient. So it would be similar. Cc, we would be considering D1 here, and A, B, B. Now what is the main role of finding reaction quotient? Moving further, reaction quotient decides whether a reaction is at equilibrium position, it is before equilibrium position, or it has exceeded the equilibrium position, depending upon the relation between Qc and Kc. If we compare Qc is less than Kc, what it implies? That Kc is greater. So what we mean that products C and D are greater in amount for the Kc, so the reaction will move in forward direction, forward or right. Along with that, moving ahead, if we consider QC equal to KC, what does this imply? This implies that the QC, the value of QC and KC become equal. This is only possible at equilibrium position. So we consider equilibrium attained. Equilibrium attained. Moving ahead, if we consider QC is greater than KC, so what does this imply? This implies that this whole term is greater considering this whole term. So this implies that the reactance in the original reaction is less than at the equilibrium position. So this reaction would favor going backward, or it would move towards left reaction. So this is all for today's video. The next topic, which is very essential and it is accountable for many reactions, and it is very, very important for JEE Mains point of view. So which is Le-Chatelier's principle. We will be considering this topic in the next video. Thanks for watching my video. If you like my videos, please hit the like button, and please be connected with me so that I can be supporting you in your journey. Please subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon for notifications, and if you have any queries regarding me and my videos, you can drop your comments in the comment box, and also share with your friends so that all the friends can get benefited and they can get into their aspiring colleges. Thank you.